Hi, welcome back. So this is a pick a card reading, and the question we're asking today is what your soul wants you to know right now. Using the Sacred Feather Oracle, the Wildflowers and Dandelions deck, and the Harvest Moon to represent any fears. So what your soul wants you to know right now, I've got to the left is crystal quartz. The middle deck is the diamante ring, just here. And the last is the diamante elephant. So it's just only 4 cards, just a short, simple reading. Take a moment, pick your pile and see what your soul wants you to know right now. Okay, let's start. Alright, so clear quartz, changing directions, sacred retreat, seasons of promise, nice, and wolf moon howl. And that's about change. Alright, so what your soul needs you to know or wants you to know right now. It's a message. That it's important to retreat as you're going through a change. There's a major change in direction in your path, and you need to take this time to retreat. Sacred retreat is a card about stepping back, so it's not a full hibernation kind of, it's not like a long extended retreat, but it's more about just take a step back, just pull back for a moment, just for a short period to reflect and gather your thoughts and feelings before taking any major action. There is another card in the deck that's more about longer retreat or a longer time period, but sacred retreat is just that step back. The message here is sort of almost quite simply saying you're needing to readjust for the change in direction that's happening in your life. Now, maybe you're aware of that change right now, or maybe you're yet to be aware of that change. Remember, changing directions doesn't have to be traumatic, but it could be, because some changes are really, disruptful, aren't they? Sometimes it's like having to change course, but the feeling for me with this, especially with the changing directions, is like it's like a positive shift. It's like a positive movement forward. The arrow with the pointing in the direction of the dream. So I would say this could be something about you moving in the direction of the dreams that you do want to go. Maybe you're reassessing how you want to get there, or the way you want to get there. And as I'm actually saying that, I'm seeing someone reevaluate maybe their study options, or if they're going to go and do study, or what they're going to actually study. So for someone, there's going to be a study relevance to this. But no matter what your path is, changing directions is saying, yes, you're moving in a different direction than you had originally planned. But with the seasons of promise, it's like it's a really nice change, even if you're not 100% sure what's going to come of it, which I guess in some ways is understandable. But it's almost like you're going to have a bit of faith and trust that the changes that you're making are going to be beneficial. And it seems to be that they will be. They certainly will be. A positive change. Seasons of promise to me feels like it's going to hold a lot of promise for you in the change that you make. With the wolf moon howl, it says wolf guides you to walk in courage, begin a new road, make a promise to yourself under the full moon. Sorry, it's not in that. Timing is perfect at this moon phase. A call is made out to divine, or a phone call is made or received. Okay, so there could be a phone call about your path, but my feeling is that's not quite the message in this scenario. My feeling for this card in this scenario is make a promise to yourself about moving in the direction of your dream. make a promise to yourself to move in the direction that you know your soul is calling you to make, and move in that direction. So this is really an interesting message from these cards, but to me they feel positive and upbeat. You know, I don't feel like there's difficulty or hesitancy in this. It's almost like, no, you can trust yourself, trust what you're feeling, but you know, there's a change in the plans now, and you know, you may need to sort of reevaluate where you're heading and where you're planning to head. And change in direction is like, with the pinks and the golds, it's like it's just a different direction than you may have planned. So the pinks and golds is like, it's really positive, passionate, it brings happiness. So don't be afraid to move in that direction. All right, so for pile 1, that's really a great message. I hope that gave you some clarity, and thank you so much. Now pile 2. I almost forgot what pile 2 was. All right. We have White Sage Spirit, Earth Healing, Burst of Joy, Fairy Garden. Okay, so I might just stand these up like I did the others. So White Sage Spirit, Earth Healing, Burst of Joy is all about, it's all about, see, White Sage Spirit and Earth Healing is about connecting to the earth. And it's got the greens and the golds in it, and that message is about literally getting back to earth, spending time on the ground, meditating. It could be just spending time in the garden. It's that literal connection to earth, the soil, the ground. With the greens coming through, it's that sense of connecting. By spending time in nature, you're going to feel that connection back to yourself. And being in nature is a really powerful way to bring yourself back into your spirit. So what your soul wants you to know is, and with White Sage Spirit, we know White Sage is about cleansing. So there's some part of yourself that needs cleansing. And look, the cleansing could be assisted or benefited through spending that time in nature. So I'm not sure, for those of you who might not spend time in nature or might not be as familiar with, working in the garden, is that just that time outdoors can be really powerful. So if you're not used to being in your garden, if you don't have a garden, go to the local park, sit in the park for 10 minutes and do your own angel cards, or just, or if you do have a yard, just pulling a couple of weeds, just the basic kind of standing in your space or in some earth and just having that energy connection, because the trees, the soil, all of that is about, that's where the fairies also reside as well. And interesting, that's the card fairy. But with that fairy card, that's about believing. But we'll get to that in a minute. So there's something about cleansing. So what your soul needs you to know right now is you need some kind of cleansing, some healing, some time in nature. I guess for some countries, maybe hearing this right now, it could be a different season or a cold season. So do what you can to connect with that nature. But the Wildflower Dandelion card says burst of joy. So as you've cleansed and connected with nature, you're going to feel that burst of joy. You're going to feel that clarity. You're going to feel that, I don't want to say motivation, but it's a clarity that will come from this healing. And so something about your soul right now needs some healing, needs some clarity. And to gain that clarity is going to be through Mother Nature. It could also be, as I said, using white sage, so cleansing. If you can't access white sage, you can certainly meditate on the image of that card. With the Harvest Moon card, the fairy card is really talking about believing again, time to believe in miracles again, make a wish, believe and trust. So there could be a part of you that's feeling like you're not believing. If you're doubting, you could be feeling like you've lost hope or you've lost faith in something. So your soul needs you to believe again. Your soul needs you to reactivate that faith in life and the universe again, and believe that whatever you're trying to achieve is still possible. So the main message of all this is about healing and clarity. So certainly, take some time. As I said, the most powerful card to me is the earth healing. So find a way. The other thing I'm seeing is a veggie garden. So maybe someone needs to get back to their veggie garden or needs to start one. And again, that's a really easy, simple way to, again, connect to earth and, get your hands literally in the soil. It's really therapeutic. So take how that resonates, see how that fits to your situation. Thank you so much, pile 2, and we'll move on to pile 3. Okay, the last one is the Sacred Wisdom. Morning Peace. Shine Anyway. Feline Mystery. So, there's something about Sacred Wisdom is about your ancestors, connecting to your ancestors and the wisdom of that past. So it's not so much past life, it's just past wisdom, knowledge. I don't know if these are going to stand up actually. Morning Peace just feels like meditation, using that time to connect to your soul, using Morning Peace as a time to make a new ritual, to make a new meditation. What your soul needs you to know right now. All right, so to connect to the wisdom of your soul, of your spirit, and by doing so through meditation, and with Morning Peace, yes, it can be meditation, but also it could just be a morning ritual. So it could be morning pages, writing, journaling in the morning, finding a ritual that you can connect to in a meditative way. Maybe it's listening to affirmations. It could be anything that's going to make you feel like you're on track. But the Sacred Wisdom is about connecting to the wisdom of your ancestors. So you may receive guidance, messages, inspiration through your ancestors through that morning ritual, if that makes sense. Now, the Shine Anyway is like whatever's going on, even if you try to get a morning routine together and it's not working, or you're trying to get back on track, or you're trying to get something going, the Shine Anyway card is basically literally saying that. Just don't worry about making errors and falling off the routine, or falling off, not getting organized as much as you want, or not getting the changes that you want to happen as quick enough. Shine Anyway is like, just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let externals distract you. Don't let yourself get defeated. Just keep moving forward and let the optimism come through really strong. The Feline Mystery, it says, trusting your senses is the key. A slow and cautious approach is needed. Be alone, discover your independence. It will feed your soul and strengthen your spirit. So, don't be afraid to be on your own. Cats are very independent, and being on your own is going to be the key to what you're trying to achieve right now with your soul journey. So whatever is happening for you, being on your own in some way is going to be the key to you accessing that sacred wisdom, the key to having that quiet time in the morning. So it means if you have to get up an extra, hour or two earlier than everybody else, then you might need to do that. So your soul needs you to, almost feels like refocus, prioritize, and don't let yourself get defeated too easily. The wisdom of your higher self, is going to guide you. You will receive the messages that you need, and it just feels like you need to try and trust a little bit. But Feline Mystery is like, trust that independent spirit that you have. Let it kind of speak to you. Trust Trusting your senses is the key. It says a slow and cautious approach is needed. So you might need to make a new ritual, and it could take you a little while before you get into the habit of your new ritual. So, again, be patient, and don't be too disappointed when, you might get into the new change and then it sort of, stops and starts. So that's that shine anyway. So see how this sort of fits to where you are in your soul path. Your soul might just need a little bit of routine. It might need a little bit of connecting to your higher wisdom. It needs a little bit of, slowing down right now. And your soul needs you to do that so it can connect to you a bit more clearly about where you are in your path and what you're needing to hear. I was going to say where you're going next. So I hope that gave you some clarity about where you are in your path. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.